Nice jugs.
Oh, thanks. I grew them myself.
That guy's motorcycle is loud. What's going on, guys? Dan here, TD Speed Shop. So, you know, I've done a couple of these 4-door to 2-door Tri-5 Chevys, and I always get all the same questions, stuff like that. I thought, you know what, I made a quick video just kind of explaining what the deal is with them and maybe how to tell them apart. There's a few telltale signs. There seems to be a lot of kind of 2-doors out there. I mean, I'm obviously very honest. These are all 4-doors, converted to 2-doors all over the internet. There may be some dishonest people out there trying to get all the money. And I know at this point now, a 2-door Tri-5 Chevy is worth decent money, and it's worth someone's time and effort and all that to churn a 4-door into a 2-door. Obviously, that's what I did. So, real quick, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. All the 4-door sedans can be turned into a 2-door sedan. Hardtops are different. You can screw around and turn a 4-door into a convertible. Obviously, that's available as well. They sell all the parts out there to do it yourself if you want, or like I did, I used just kind of parts and made my own and did all that sort of stuff. So they're a little on the rattier side, but you get the point across. So they are the same wheelbase on the sedans, the 4-doors, the 2-doors, the wagons. They're all the exact same. They don't matter. That's the biggest hurdle. The next thing, the doors, I believe they're 6 inches longer, a 2-door door, than a 4-door door. Now, a lot of guys have, well, I've seen it before, I've never done it. They lengthen the door, you can do that no problem. Then you gotta screw out the window mechanisms and all that. I find the easiest way is buy a good set of 2-door doors, a solid 4-door, and then you can kind of do whatever you gotta do. Now, both these cars are 2-doors that were converted from the 4-door. I did them both very differently, and there's a bunch of ways to do them. These are the 2 easiest ways, I think, to explain and kind of go from there. Now, if you got deep pockets, you can buy all the panels, you can buy full quarters, you can buy everything to make it look just like a 2-door and no one would ever know. But here's a few telltale signs that I think really show off how you can kind of spot a 2-door. So again, the proper size door. There's a lot of guys that I've seen where they'll cut out the back post here, they'll just fiberglass in, whatever they got to do, you know, keep a big long window and keep a 4-door door up front, so the back window is just huge. So I guess technically it's a 2-door. They just weld the door shut and that's it. I think that looks horrible. So what I did in this car actually had a parts car. So this rear post and this whole window section is actually out of a proper 2-door car. So this car has roll-up windows and everything. Now what I did is I sectioned in the post. I used basically back to about here kind of thing out of a 2-door. So that whole section, the window section, the whole inner structure, obviously the window regulator and all that was reused. That's what made it a proper 2-door. Now the 4-doors have a different door latch mechanism and a different post. So if you put a 2-door door on a 4-door, the door's not going to close properly, which is a real hassle. And that's something you really want to make sure you kind of get all lined out. This car, I did the full rockers and all sorts of stuff. What you simply do is you cut out the post of the 4-door, which would be about there, and you move it back. So one quick thing to look at is you look up in here, and if there's kind of body work, which this one obviously has, you know, I just roughed it in. This can all be kind of done whatever. That, the post is moved back. The second thing, the post on a proper car is actually just spot welded in. This has all been body work and stuff like that. Again, I guess you could do whatever you want to do there. I didn't. I'm not trying to hide anything. So that's all doable. The big, I think the telltale sign on a proper 2-door, this panel right here actually has a little kind of air gap, or whatever you want to call it, in between the roof. Now when I did it, I welded it and I just schmucked in filler. So you can see it looks like it's one panel right into the drip rail. That's wrong. Again, I guess you could kind of grind that all out or do whatever you want to do, but I think that would be a really, I mean, at that point you're really doing a hell of a restoration. So that's how this car was done. The other thing a lot of guys do when they're doing a 4-door to 2-door is they won't see the post is different. I find this ugly. The door is jogged out in a four-door car. So you'll see guys do that, and they'll leave this post in here, and they'll kind of just chop the door, do whatever they got to do, which is ugly. So on Danny's car, I did a lot of screwing around because this is the four-door post, and I cut all that stuff out of it and kind of welded up and did my own thing. So as you can see, this is the four-door post. It's very different. See, it kind of bulbouses out versus the two-door, which I guess I could have done a better job explaining it, but it actually curves kind of in, or it's flat. So if you look at the latch, hold that door, but the latch, and then it goes straight down, so there's nothing in the way, right? But on a four-door, that is not the case. The latch is there, but then the post sticks out. So I cut out the section until the door would fit. That's all you gotta do. So you can do whatever you want there, but I mean that's clear as day. This is a four-door post. Obviously all in here is all body work and done and whatnot. There's no factory stampings or anything there anymore. So that's a big one. This car has plexiglass windows, all the trim, four-door trim, stuff like that. This is what I'm actually showing you here. I never even finished on this one. Wow, I should get on that.
Only the best for your babe.
Yeah, so that's where the post was, and I just cut it out. At least I welded a piece in there. But that's kind of both telltale signs. This car's pretty easy. This car, this is actually the back door, which right here, right where the split is, I cut the door apart. I used just the skin. I welded the skin in, and then I used the inner door structure, welded that in. This is actually out of a completely different car, a four-door, which I welded in. So
you didn't weld the whole door in though, like you were saying before?
Nope, you skin the whole thing. Yeah, because you got to shorten it. So in that case, the four-door door would start right there. So you skin the door off, you make this door close, you put the post in, you put just the skin on, you trace what you want to cut out, and then you weld it on. So it's welded all the way down here, weld around there. So you take all of the material out of the front of the door because the back's still good. And that's it. Now, you do move it back just a hair because you don't want any gap there, so whether this V is in the exact right spot, I don't really know. But again, up there, this was the door. All that, you can actually see where the filler's kind of cracking right there. Where I did it. So this whole section, straight down, is the door. The four-door door. And then I just join it right into the rocker, weld it all in, schmuck it, you're done. So that's real telltale stuff. This car, you can really tell was a four-door. The striker, I got a bunch of washers to hold it out so the door would latch properly. The whole sill and all that. Plexiglass windows, no mechanisms whatsoever. That's pretty obvious in my mind. Now again, when guys want to go full-blown crazy, you can buy a full quarter panel, and a full quarter on the Tri-5 sedans does include this whole piece, so you can change that. They do sell posts and all that, so you can buy that as well. I don't know about the inner structure if they sell that, but I'm sure they probably do. So those are all things to really look at if you're kind of going for it. Now, in all reality, if the car's gone through that level of transformation, I mean, I don't know what you're going to be paying for that, but you'd have so much money in that, the guy would have to ask a pile of money for it. So it is what it is. People keep saying I should do, you know, the way I do it's kind of a hack job and all that, which is not wrong, but up here a full quarter panel is it's like $1,200 or $1,300. The post I think is $300 or $400. You got to get a set of doors and all that. And ultimately when you do all that, up in the roof there's a bunch of structure in there, which I don't know how those new quarter panels do go on versus the old ones. Again, when I put it on, just schmoot her all in there and it was fine. And you can still see like the rust is coming through right there where I used the two-door piece. Then up in here, you can still see that. You can even see here how the body line gets kind of fat into skinny if you back away a little. So I mean that's a two-door conversion right there. But that's I think kind of it. Those are the telltales to kind of look for. You know, stuff like this. You know, a lot of guys will leave this little piece in when they're doing a two-door because it's much easier to move the post back and leave this little gap in there, which I think looks real hokey versus doing a little bit of work and making them look like proper two-doors. kind of go from there. But that's the basics of it. I mean, hopefully it can help you guys out. If you ever want to do it, super easy to do. I want to do another one yet again. And the next one I want to do it yet a different way and make a better job of filming it. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your Tri-5s.